telling an Italian not to drink red wine, you're wasting your time.
Yes.
Red wine is calories. So she knows that and I know that. So I tried to work with her. Oh, I don't have time for this. I don't have time. Finally, I asked her, so what can you do? And then she said, oh, I love to use Weight Watchers. I said, okay, we are going to use Weight Watchers. We are going to add your red wine for you. And now exercise, you travel a lot. What can you do? Can you take your sneakers with you? Yes, I can. So when you get into the airport, put on your sneakers before your flight, do some laps in the airport. In 3 months, my lady lost 20 pounds.
Today, our topic is Eat Like You. Finding freedom in your unique style. And what we'll be talking about with my guest when she joins us is how you can discover your unique eating style that aligns with your body and your lifestyle. And with that, I want to welcome Dr. Ukpong Nwankwo to Chatting with the Experts. So good to have you here.
Thank you so much, Miss Paula, for this, your forum, and for having me in your space. It's such an honor and a privilege to join you today in your audience. Thank you so much.
Oh my gosh, I am the one who's privileged to have you here. I mean, love what you're doing. I came across what you were talking about on Facebook, and I was like, I've got to have her on the show to share what she has discovered, not has discovered, but what she's doing right now, because to me, it makes a difference. And, eating like you, in other words, discovering a unique eating style that aligns with your body and lifestyle. In my case, I'm going to say with my body and lifestyle. Wow, that's amazing. So let's jump straight into it and talk about what it is and how we discover how to do this.
Okay, thank you so much for that question. I would just say that as a busy professional woman, I was busy taking care of everyone else. And with time, let myself slip. And I started, with a load of work, fatigue setting. I gained a lot of weight. But I kept pushing because I felt like I needed to serve everyone. And my wake-up call came with the breast cancer diagnosis. And it was an aggressive cancer. And I was told in order for it not to come back, I had to release weight. I had to lose the weight. And so I now embarked on the journey to do that, to lose weight. And I thought that it was simple, it was easy. But it led from one frustration after another. I would try keto. It felt so unhealthy, the amount of fats. And I was not comfortable with that. My husband even went to Nigeria and saw a friend who lost weight and tried the Cambridge diet and asked him, and he brought it back to me. I succeeded in losing 8 pounds, but again did back because it was too debilitating constipation. So I said to myself, it mustn't be this tough. It mustn't be this hard. And that was when I now invested in going to a nutrition school. And really what occurred to me was that diet like clothes have to fit you. Just like you have a style, like you love to wear, it has to fit you. I was like, that's probably why hasn't worked for me. And then I started experimenting and I was able to release 70 pounds and keep it off. Thank God this is like 10 years after, 11 years cancer free. Thank God for that. So, yes. And to further, say what it is, because even when I lost my weight, it was because I was experimenting. But to really document and pinpoint this, I did a recent training on this, and it was on epigenetic testing. And what really surprised me was that everybody, like I had already, got to know, has their unique eating style. It's like a blueprint. It's like trying to restore an old building. And then, you're in today, 2025, and this building was maybe in the 1935. You have to have the blueprint. And that's what epigenetic testing is, the blueprint of how you were created, your natural tendencies, how best you thrive, the foods that are good for you. So I actually did this epigenetic testing. And to my biggest delight and surprise, the foods that I love naturally are the things that are, a lot of them are good for me.
Wow.
So, and then you begin to flow in your natural state.
Mm,
You don't struggle anymore because a lot of these diets, they are like, they are branded as one size fits all, but one size fits all doesn't fit everyone. That's why some people struggle. And then they now feel like a failure. They feel frustrated and then they give it up. So, but when you find what is your unique style, what works for you, it's easier on your body because it's tailored to you. It's not tailored to somebody else. So it takes away the struggle, it takes away the frustration. You now enter what is called the flow state,
mm,
where you're doing things effortlessly.
mhm.
You're going with the flow rather than swimming against the flow, against the currents, which takes more energy. But when you're in your strength zone, you're in your best life. It's going well for you. Even with me that I was like, I don't need to lose any more weight. Now that I've dialed it down to exactly me, and the thing, it's not just diet too. For some people, their body types, it might be how you handle stress.
Mm,
And
mm,
just the little things that, they told me to do in terms of my stress, is like the stress in my mind, the stress in my body full, I dropped 5 pounds. It's like, wow,
wow.
this is amazing.
While eating the things
While
that you
eating.
like because you've discovered it works best for you.
Absolutely, ma. Absolutely. That is the truth. That is the truth.
Wow, I'm blown away. But
Wow.
I see, I don't want to say the simplicity, but I see how that comes into place. Because if you find out what works best for you, then it makes sense to do what works best for you. And because, we are made up, we're all different, but epigenetically, we have our own unique way of handling stress, even handling, happiness or handling like during the holiday seasons when people let their hair down and you eat all sorts of things. But knowing that, okay, this doesn't actually work for me and this does work really is a guide to the after holiday blues, many times when we're like, oh no, why did I eat that? Why did I do this? So I think this is so important. I'm grinning from ear to ear because it's like I found a solution for me.
It's like handing you your own manual. People say, oh, I wasn't born with a manual, but actually, we've been born with a manual, and they
Mm,
give you your manual. This is your manual. This is how you thrive best. This is the best place you can live. This is how
mhm,
you can understand your relationship. This is how you
mhm.
can understand your food. It goes beyond food.
Yeah.
Because, like I said, this 5 pounds that I lost, it wasn't because of what I did differently with my food per se. It's just the stress that I
Mhm,
had to let go of. It's like decluttering your space. It's a lot of things. It's a library of information about you. I mean, it makes it sound like we are narcissistic, but you know what? When you understand yourself and you're able to care for yourself well, you now are in a position to serve other people. Just like you're in an aircraft, you're traveling with a 1-year-old. They say, in case of turbulence, what do you do? Put on your mask first so that you can help that child. Because if you pass out without putting your mask out first, you can't help that child. So now we are putting on our masks so that you can do your God-given purpose. You can shine brightly. You can, live your best life. You can, see the doctor less often because you're in good condition, good state of health and mind. So it's a wonderful place to be.
Wow. 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 I know we kind of like we introduced this about your eating style, but let's talk about how it impacts like your energy. You
Mm,
said it helped you see stress differently and you dropped 5 pounds. Is that
mm.
something you can talk about? Because I mean, I'm so encouraged just listening to you.
Well, one of the things that, I did for myself and my eating type or my body type is the stress. First of all, my friend came to my office and decluttered my workspace.
Wow.
It's like you have too many folders here. She just carried everything from my desk. only that just released something inside my soul.
Wow.
And then I had a lot of work that I had not done. It had piled up. And then I was like, no, 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 this is weighing in heavily on me. So I had to sit down and break it down and how I can now get it done, get it together. So that in itself, I was able to finish my notes this past weekend. So all that was like a stress on my body. You see, when you're stressed out as for some body types, your body tells you it's not safe to release weight. So you might be
Mm,
eating healthy, you might eating all the right things, eating vegetable, eating everything. But if there are other aspects of life. Like for me, my health type, stress relief is very important.
mm,
And for me, my body type, being outside in the outdoors is very healing and therapeutic for me. So, like for myself, for my lunch break, I put on my sneakers, put on my jacket because it's getting cold in layers, and I get outside and walk. And, just listening to the natural sounds, I'm not listening to anything, the birds, just the sounds. And then I have time to pray and meditate and reflect. All that is nourishing to my soul.
mm,
So it's not just what is on our plate. Because sometimes we do everything right, but there are other aspects of our life that needs to come into alignment to give you the energy that you need, to make you feel that freedom. You gain that freedom, and then you're fully attuned with your body.
mm,
You feel energized, you feel confident.
mm,
Yeah, it is such a good place to be
mm,
when you're at home in your body.
mm.
And that's the way God designed us to be. He don't want us to fight against our body and struggling. Hey, don't eat this. Don't eat that. Sometimes we focus on the don'ts. And when we focus on the don'ts, it's not a good place to be.
No,
Yes.
no, no. Someone said to me, many times when we focus so much on the don't, we don't realize that by saying no to something, that means you're opening up the opportunity for yes.
Wow.
So instead of focusing on, oh, I can't, focus on all the new things that you can do, that you opened yourself up to being aware of, being able to do, being able to sense, it makes a world of difference. Even as you mentioned now, going for a walk during your lunch break without any headphones, I'm assuming, without any distractions, you're just taking in nature, the wind as it's blowing, the leaves as they're falling, the birds as they're singing, it does make you stop. Well, not literally, but it makes you, reflect on life. Sometimes I even walk and I look at the clouds or how blue the sky is if it's a bright day, even if it's not a bright day, but it's not overcast. Just looking at wow, the aircrafts flying, and I'm thinking, God, you're wonderful. How a heavy aircraft like that can be in the sky. I can't even fly myself, my own body, but he's given mankind the opportunity and the ability to know the science on how to do that. It does relieve stress.
Yes, ma'am. Absolutely. Absolutely. For some body types, stress needs to be released for you to see appreciable difference and in what you're doing, give you the payoff of eating right, so that you be encouraged. You be encouraged because if you do something long enough and it's not working, you don't see results, you get discouraged. So, being in your strength zone helps you get encouraged because you're going to see results. You're going to see results. And with coaching, you see, that's where a coach helps you to be able to say, okay, this is, how can we read your label for you? You're inside the jar, but someone outside can read the label for you and say, okay, all right, ask you the right questions. And then you begin to say, aha, this might be it. Aha, this is where I need to adjust. Aha. And then you do it and then you see results. It's so real. You feel so good that something is working. Something finally, after you've had so many repeated failures and then something starts working. Oh my God, you feel on top of the world.
Absolutely. Absolutely. So I know offline we talked about good food freedom. What's that? I think that's a benefit, of course, but what's this good food freedom?
Yes, it's looking at food in the sense that first of all, that every food is good.
Yes.
Okay. And so when you do the epigenetic testing, it tells you the foods that are the best for you, they're in green. The foods that are okay, they're in yellow. And then the ones that are red are not so great. But you can still eat those ones in red once a week. You can
Hmm.
have it so you don't feel deprived. So you
Okay.
don't feel deprived. Like last week, I ate so clean. I ate so beautifully well. And I said, I'm going to mess it up. I want to mess it up now. So when I went for office lunch, I took a cherry pie.
Okay.
I'm going to eat it because I want to do something to give myself extra calories.
Right.
And when I ate it, honestly speaking, it didn't feel good in my body. So I just
Mm,
stopped.
mm,
So, but things like mangoes for me, for my health type, is a lot of calories.
mm,
So when it's in season, I do have it, but I might have it once a week for my refeed day where I can have something that I like that not necessarily is the best for me.
mhm.
Because we know that if you go feeling deprived, it's just a matter of time. You will just say, hey, this thing, I'm tired of it. So we don't want you to be tired of it. So it's everything is incorporated, plus the ones that are great for you, not so, great, and the ones that, are on the red zone, you can still have that so that you don't feel deprived. You see, you want to feel satisfied, satiated. Food is meant for fueling. So we don't want you to use it for an emotional crutch, but at the same time, we don't want you to feel deprived.
Got you. Hi, so I know you're a coach, and I know with the epigenetic, you're a physician, you're a coach, you're very much into, using the mindset to empower or guide women towards energy, confidence. So I'm wondering, do you have one success story you can tell us about? Oh, I know there are many, but just choose one so that we can hear it ourselves and say, okay, I'm like that, or that's something I can do.
Okay, there's a lady, I will call her Nello. She
Mm-hmm.
came to me. She actually lives in Nigeria. For those who think that, oh, there are not enough good foods for me to choose from, so she came to me. She felt weak. She had aches and pains. She's like about 49 because when I worked for her, she just turned 50.
Mm-hmm.
So she felt sluggish and everything. So when we worked together, first of all, in the first 3 months, she released 45 pounds. And up to now, she's lost like about 60 pounds. And not just that, she feels more confident. She's the one that gets all the women in her neighborhood, takes them on a walk. She's a school teacher. She's been more confident so that whenever the principal is out of school, she puts her there as her substitute, someone to stand in for her. And her personal business has 10x because now she feels confident. I can do this. She keeps thanking me, keep thanking. I said, for what? For what? But because, we now use the foods that we eat in Nigeria,
Mm-hmm.
our native foods. People can still eat rice, people can still eat swallow, but we now measure it and then add all the different foods that will help to balance it out. We worked on the mindset. We worked on so many things that from time to time I go to her WhatsApp status. She has posted her new body. She's so confident. She's taking pictures. She's doing this. She's doing
Wow.
that. She's happy.
Wow.
So, that's one. Then, that was just a younger lady. There's another lady. She was in her 70s. The one I told you about that was Donna Summer's manager when Donna
Yes.
Summer was alive. So
Mm-hmm.
she still works in Hollywood, but when you get older, it becomes a competition with the younger ones. So she wanted to lose 20 pounds and she's Italian. She loves red wine. So telling an Italian not to drink red wine, you're wasting your time.
Yes.
Red wine is calories. So she knows that and I know that. So I tried to work with her. Oh, I don't have time for this. I don't have time. Finally, I asked her, so what can you do?
Mm-hmm.
And then she said, oh, I love to use Weight Watchers. I said, okay, we are going to use Weight Watchers. We are going to add your red wine for you. And now exercise. You travel a lot. What can you do? Can you take your sneakers with you? Yes, I can. So when you get into the airport, put on your sneakers before your flight, do some laps in the airport. In 3 months, my lady lost 20 pounds. That's what she was trying to lose. And
Wow.
then when she went to Israel, on one of the rooftops, she did a live testimonial for me, thanking me and, saying, whatever this girl is doing, just go with her. So it does work. It does work when you find your strength zone, when you find your unique pattern, your blueprint, your manual, it's going to work. But if I try to give you what worked for me or another diet, it doesn't work. But what is your unique blueprint is what will work for you.
Wow, wow. Whew. So, because I know everyone in the audience is probably waiting to ask you so many questions, and this is a global show. For those who haven't been able to join us in the audience, how can people follow you, get engaged with you so that they too can have this unique success that's just for them?
My main place is on Facebook. I'm there as Ukpong Nwankwo. You can DM me. And if you DM me because you're especially on Miss Paula's show, ask me for my energy recipe guide for women. I made that guide. It's beautiful. And I designed it on Canva. I will share it with Miss Paula. I love it myself. Anytime I look at it, it makes me feel good. So you can find me on Facebook. And, that's where I do most of my posting, my teaching, my sharing of my journey and stuff like that is on Facebook.
What about LinkedIn? I'm a LinkedIn fan, so I'm always like trying to talk about, find out if people are on LinkedIn for people like me. I mean, Facebook, I love, but I'm just getting acquainted with it. Is there any other place? Do you have a website?
I'm also on LinkedIn. I'm trying to understand it. My website is livehealthydoc.com.
Okay, we put all of that
Livehealthydoc.com.
in the show notes. We'll drop it in the chat. Oh
Yes.
my gosh, Dr. Nwankwo, this has been amazing. I learned so much. One of my mantras is that I have to learn one thing new every day. So
Wow.
this is one of my one things. One can be multiplied by many things. So by the end of the day, I should have like 20, but this is really, really good. So for those of you who are listening to this online or viewing this on YouTube, I love to invite you to be a guest on the show. I mean, of course, you got to reach out to me first on my website, which is Chatting with the Experts, or you can contact me on LinkedIn and we'll have a conversation there. I'm also on Instagram. My handle there is at chat_experts_podcast. I'm on Facebook, as you heard me say. I'm getting more and more active on Facebook. My social media choice platform has always been LinkedIn, but I can change. And last but not least, talking about social media platforms, I'm really active on YouTube. I'd love for you to like this, subscribe to us, because there's so much that you can learn from these amazing women. And I stretch out amazing because they truly are. And we've also had some very fabulous men. In fact, we're going to have a show primarily for men talking to women about how men feel. That'll be coming up soon. So tune in for that. Thank you, thank you, thank you, Dr. Ukpong Nwankwo, for being.
Thank you, Miss Paula. Thank you,
Thank
ma'am.
you. And now we'll open up the floor for all who joined us so they can ask you the questions that I couldn't remember to ask you. This is so good. I'm so excited.